All right.
All right.
Welcome
Welcome
everyone
everyone
to
to
our
our
workshop.
workshop.
This is
This is
about
about
what are
what are
EIPs
EIPs
and
and
why
why
they're
they're
important when
important when
people
people
look
look
into
into
EIP
EIP
4844.
4844.
Brought to you
Brought to you
by
by
myself,
myself,
Small
Small
Potato,
Potato,
and presented to you
presented to
by
you
the
by the
Blocto
Blocto
CM team.
team.
So,
So,
so what
so
are
what are
EIPs?
EIPs?
EIP is a
EIP is a
proposal for
proposal for
changes or
changes of
improvements to the
improvements to the
Ethereum
Ethereum
protocol
protocol
itself.
itself.
They are
They are
documents that
documents that
describe
describe
proposed
proposed
changes or
changes or
improvements to the
improvements to the
Ethereum
Ethereum
network.
network.
EIPs are
EIPs are
written in a
written in a
formal
formal
format and
format
are
and are
designed to be
designed to be
comprehensive,
comprehensive,
clear, and
clear, and
concise.
concise.
They
They
cover a
cover
wide
a
range
wide
of
range of
topics,
topics,
including
including
technical
technical
specifications, new
specifications, new
features,
features,
standards,
standards,
and
and
notifications to
notifications to
existing
existing
functions
functions
within the
within the
network.
network.
EAPs are
EIPs
the
are the
way
way
for
for
members of
members
the
of the
Ethereum
Ethereum
community to
community to
suggest
suggest
changes to the
changes to
network
the
and
network
start
and start
discussions about
discussions about
proposals.
proposals.
The
The
EIP
EIP
process is
process is
open to
open to
anyone.
anyone.
There are
There are
no
no
restrictions
restrictions
on who can
on who can
submit an
submit an
EIP.
EIP.
However,
However,
EIPs
EIPs
must go
must go
through a
through a
rigorous
rigorous
review
review
process
process
before
before
they
they
are
are
accepted.
accepted.
So this
So
is
this
the
is the
EIP
EIP
approval
approval
process.
process.
First
First
is
is
the
the
idea.
idea.
This is
This
the
is the
initial
initial
stage
stage
where
where
the
the
EIP
EIP
is
is
just
just
an
an
idea.
idea.
The
The
author of
author
the
of the
EIP
EIP
can
can
write a
write a
brief
brief
description of
description
the
of the
proposal
proposal
and
and
share it
share
with
with
the
the
community
community
for
for
feedback.
feedback.
Once
Once
that
that
idea
idea
is
is
kind
kind
of
of
formulated, it
formulated, it
becomes a
becomes a
draft.
draft.
Once the
Once the
draft has
draft has
been
been
refined,
refined,
the
the
author
author
can
can
can create a
create a
draft
draft
EIP.
EIP.
This
This
is a
is a
more
more
detailed
detailed
document
document
that
that
describes
describes
the
the
proposal
proposal
in
in
technical
technical
terms.
terms.
The
The
draft
draft
EIP is
EIP is
submitted to
submitted to
the
the
EIP
EIP
repository
repository
and
and
GitHub
GitHub
for
for
review
review
by the
by the
community.
community.
Then it
Then
goes
it goes
through a
through a
review.
review.
The
The
draft
draft
EIP is
EIP is
reviewed by the
reviewed by the
community,
community,
including
including
developers,
developers,
researchers,
researchers,
and
and
other
other
stakeholders.
stakeholders.
The
The
author of
author of
the
the
EIP
EIP may
has
be
to
asked
make changes to the proposal based on the feedback they receive. Then it
Then it
goes
goes
through a
through a
last
last
call.
call.
Once the draft EIP has been finalized, it's put through last call status. That means that it is open for final review by the community before it can be moved to the next stage. If nothing happens there, then it goes to the final stage. If the AIP is approved by the community, it is moved to the final status, which means that it's ready to be implemented to the Ethereum protocol. Then once that gets accepted, and then it gets updated into the Ethereum network and becomes an ERC. So the benefits of an EIP: transparency, community involvement, improved security, increased scalability, and new features get introduced into the network. The importance of EAPs. The EAPs are an important part of the Ethereum governance process. They allow the community to process and adopt changes in a transparent and democratic way. Some of the most well-known EIPs are EIP 1559. This EIP introduced a new fee mechanism for Ethereum transactions. It aims to reduce gas price volatility and makes the network more predictable. Then there's EIP 721. EIP defines a standard for non-fungible tokens, NFTs on Ethereum. NFTs are unique digital assets that cannot be replaced. Then there's EIP 20. The EIP defines a standard for fungible tokens on Ethereum. Fungible tokens are interchangeable assets that have the same value. Other ones to keep your eye on is EIP 1271, 3074, 3607, 4337, 5792, and 6492, and 7212. Uh, the Ethereum network is always changing and growing, and a new one that's being introduced at this point is 4844, and Small Potato will go into this.
Thanks, Mitsuishi.
You can hear me, right?
All right. So, what is EIP-4844? It is actually an Ethereum standard that would like to enable rollups to process transactions more cheaply. In the realm of Ethereum's ongoing development, EIP-4844, also referred to as Proto Bank Sharding, emerges as a significant proposal aimed at refining the Ethereum protocol. The primary objectives are to curtail transaction fees and amplify transaction throughput. The mechanism it employs involves introducing a novel transaction type capable of accepting data units known as blobs, BLOBS. The data stored in these temporary blobs will not be accessible by the Ethereum virtual machine, which means that the EVM will store and process less data, resulting in a lower gas fee. So we'll cover EIP-4844 in more detail in the following topics. Alright, first let's look at the transitional evolution. EIP-4844 constitutes a transitional upgrade, steering Ethereum towards the eventual adoption of the full bank sharding, which is a critical step in expanding Ethereum's capability and capacity to function as a global transaction network. This interim solution acknowledges the persistent challenge of escalating fees as and less than optimal transaction speed that inhabit boarded adoptions. Okay, to comprehend EIP 4844, a fundamental grasp of the concept of sharding should be necessary. Sharding is a technique that involves partitioning database into smaller, more manageable units to enhance operational efficiency. Applied to Ethereum, sharding takes on a unique character. Ethereum intends to implement bank sharding, a sharding variation that promises reduced transaction costs and heightened throughput. Bank sharding has the potential to raise Ethereum's transaction processing capability to an impressive 10,000 transactions per second. Bank sharding distinguished itself from previous sharding models, both within and outside Ethereum, by allocating more spaces for data entities known as blobs rather than merely accommodating transactions. This approach introduces innovative concepts such as the merge fee market, where a single proposer undertakes transaction selections for all shards, in contrast to the transactional approach of each shard having its own proposer. EIP-4844, or like Protect sharding, serves as a foundational building block towards the eventual realization of full bank sharding. It is not synonymous with a comprehensive sharding implementation, but a significant advancement that paves the way for future cost-efficient and high-throughput transaction processing. This transitional step is anticipated to elevate Ethereum's transaction capacity to approximately 10,000 transactions per second. At its core, EIP-4844 introduces a new transaction category referred to as block carrying transactions. These transactions incorporate binary large objects, or like belt and blobs. In addition to the regular data payload, think of it as appending extra information to a standard transaction, effectively optimizing the data management within Ethereum's ecosystem. So, EIP-4844 holds promise to Ethereum users in several aspects. They enhance speed and they bring economical transactions and competitive edge. As 4844 aligns with Ethereum's roadmap, its deployment is poised for realization. As the Ethereum community witnesses the integration of this upgrade. A palpable transformation is expected, reflected in faster transaction, reduced fees, and an overall improved user experience. So to conclude, EIP-4844 plays a strategic role in propelling Ethereum closer to its vision of becoming a global acclaimed transaction network that stands at the forefront of innovation and utility.
If we have any questions or answers this time, please let us know if you have any. We can check the message board. I'm not sure if we have audio on for the so we'll check the AMA text or the general. I don't see any Q&A. So let's conclude. Thank you for all for your time and attention. And please let us know if there's any subject you'd like to cover in the future. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. This will conclude our presentation.
Don't have any question on the AMA or like in EIPs, but would you like to take the time to like share your views on the current market or like crypto field?
My views? Sure.
Yep.
I see the current market as being suppressed at this point, right? I mean, of course, with a lot of the things happening in the blockchain market, seems a lot of the trust has gone quite a way, right? A lot of the blockchains are kind of just surviving as is. A lot of the projects that used to be part of a lot of these blockchains have gone away. If you have stand, and I think for future standings, we should support those projects that are still around with a strong community. I do think that blockchain has a great future ahead of it. Just has to be reshaped, and trust has to be gained again after all what's going on. I'm not sure if anybody else has any ideas or would like to share. We can have this as an open forum now if anybody would like to talk about that. Let's see. We have some typing going on. Let's see what you get. Why we need so much EAPs? Like it's almost every day. Yeah, right. Everybody wants to put their opinion in on what needs to be changed. So that's probably the reason why, right? You have an open forum. It's open, so anybody can do it. You can put it's almost like an open election. Anybody can put their hat into the pot. So yeah. There probably should be a filtration to kind of stop Greedy Shamrock, but that's what makes it good, right? Is that it's open and anybody can participate. So get the good and the bad. The people here, Binebit, Ethan, Murphy, Shinhu. What blockchains are you guys still participating in, if any? To be honest with you, we'd like to hear that also. What are you guys supporting? Where are you guys hanging out? What are you guys views on what's going on in the current market? Or we can even continue this discussion in general. We can stop this and actually talk there. Yeah. I agree with Shamrock. Reading the journal. It does look like it's made up, but too many pumps are done lately. Yeah, for sure. I mean, like the last one we just saw with Pepe Coin has no founding or background to it, but pump and dump. Yep, is what usually happens. Like I said, there are a few projects out there that have really good communities that still doing keeping up with what there is. In flow, if any of you guys in flow, right? There's ballers, there's Flovatar, and Aptos. There's still a couple, right? Raw bears, um, also monkeys. So there are people that are passionate about this. So yeah, raw bears. Yep. So
It
definitely
definitely
find
find
good
good
people
people
to
to
talk
talk
to you
to you
about
about
it,
it,
and
and
don't lose
don't lose
faith.
faith.
I mean, it has
Gotten
gone
down.
down.
A
A lot
lot
more
more
focus now has
focus
been
now has
going
been going
towards
towards
AI
AI
for sure.
for sure. But
And we're
and
here.
we're
We're here to
here. We're
stay.
here to stay.
We have a good
We have a
product.
good product.
The Blocto
The
wallet
Blocto
support
wallet
support,
supports,
and you can see
and you
that
can
we're
see that
making
we're making
changes
changes
to
to
make sure that we have build a good
build a
community
good
base.
community base.
Yep.
Yep.
Bear market
Bear market
hopefully will not be forever. Okay,
Okay, so
if there's no other
if there's no other
questions, we
questions, we
definitely would love to
continue
continue this in
in
general.
general.
If
If
you
you
guys
guys
want
want
to
to
bring
bring
up
up
these questions
questions
or
or
your
your
ideas,
ideas,
what your
what
thoughts
your
on the
thoughts
market
on the
are,
market are,
we
we
definitely
definitely
would
would
love
love
to
to
hear
hear
about
about
it.
it.
So if that's
So
it,
if
I'm
that's it,
going
I'm
to
going
stop
to
my
stop my
sharing
sharing
and
and
close
close
this
this
AMA.
AMA.
Thanks everybody
Thanks
again for
everybody
joining.
again for joining.